In this video, I want to take a look at the Rolling Stones style guitar weaving. I haven't seen nearly enough of this fantastic technique in YouTube videos, and I wanted to explore exactly how anyone can start doing this and show you 5 great song examples that you can learn and then start doing your weaving. But what is this ancient art of guitar weaving? Let's let Keith Richards himself explain.
Yeah, it's as spontaneous as it always sounds. We don't work anything out. Thanks for noticing. I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on. We call it the ancient form of weaving, where you just cannot tell who's doing what and who swaps in between rhythm and lead, because it's just guitar playing, and it's an intuitive thing. But it's as you don't think about it. It's not worked out in that way. It cannot be. It would be too stiff. It's got to flow, and you just trust each other. And sometimes you'll notice me kicking Ronnie on stage saying you've got the wrong bit.
I love that he says thanks for noticing as well. We notice, Keith, we love it. But what is guitar weaving? Well, as he says, it's this idea that there isn't one traditional soloist to take that role, to take the solo, like someone maybe like an Eric Clapton might do. Here we have 2 guitarists that both play rhythm, both play lead in between each other. But then also I want to make the point that they do come back to playing the riff. And that's where we're going to get onto my 5 examples. But before we do that, I wanted to display exactly what it isn't so that you can spot it when you hear it. So what guitar weaving isn't is playing a traditional guitar solo. And with the Rolling Stones, I couldn't even, other than something like, Satisfaction. That's kind of a traditional riff, I guess, but I can't think of too many Rolling Stones examples. Perhaps the most famous one would be Sympathy for the Devil. So if I just record a basic open chords. And that's going to loop. And then over the top of that we have a traditional E minor pentatonic solo. Let me know your favourite traditional Rolling Stones solos in the comments below. There's obviously going to be countless that I've missed, but I don't think there's any kind of classic ones like there would be for, AC/DC or maybe Guns N' Roses, where it's usually Slash or Angus Young that take the solo. In the Rolling Stones, they're kind of both taking the solo at all times. And this is a really accessible, learned thing. As Keith says, this is intuitive, it's instinctive, and once you've developed that, you'll start doing it naturally. But we have to train ourselves to do it first. So we're going to look at 3, first of all, in standard tuning, which I am in, and then I'm going to show you 2 others in open G tuning. That gives us our top 5 and gives you something to play going forward, no matter what you're playing over, to jam over records with and kind of do this guitar weaving thing. The first song I want to take a look at is Only Rock and Roll. This is the way that the Stones play it live in the key of B. It's a bit more Chuck Berry influenced than the original recording, but check out the live version of this to see the Rolling Stones not with one guitarist constantly doing this all the way through, but them jumping in between rhythm and lead, filling in the chords with their lead lines, but really just working in pure flow state. But what I've learned from doing this, as you just saw, it's really hard to do this on your own. It's fantastic to be able to do this with another guitar player. But the real thing that you can start doing this over today with every electric guitar song you learn especially, is just to try this when you're jamming over recordings. You've already got 1 or 2 guitar parts on the original Rolling Stones or anyone else's recordings, and you can try and weave in between them. You don't always have to just play the riff, which, you know, when you're sticking to rhythm and you're playing bar chords and power chords and these for an entire song, your wrist and your arm's going to get tired. It's going to fatigue. And break into these little parts is more free-flowing and means you can do it for longer and keep the vibe up, basically. So what was I doing there? A lot of Chuck Berry licks, basically. The intro from Keith was like the start of Johnny Be Good, but a bit simplified. We're in the key of B, we're using that major third a lot and this kind of major pentatonic. But then filling in on the rhythm and trying to do that when the other person goes to the rhythm part. But this works a lot better when you can do it just along to the original recording and you have bass and drums, basically, because you're constantly coming away from the rhythm parts. But it's a really interesting challenge. Let me do another similar loop, this time with Beast of Burden. We have a full tutorial for this one, and I've got like a total beginner's version in that video, as well as exactly how I play it here. But I didn't focus too much on the guitar weaving. The original recording and the live versions, loads of weaving going on. Give it a listen, but let me give you a demo as well. That's my attempt, but this is not easy. It's very strange to do it with your own guitar playing. I'm really used to doing this over the original recordings when you constantly get feedback from the 2 best people at this and you're weaving in between them. Coming up with it on your own, I'm constantly referring to the original recordings to try and get the vibe and the little bits. I know I sped up in the middle there, but it's something to play about with. It's mostly the same 4 chords, E, B, C sharp minor, and A, mostly played with triads in the original recording, and for the riff, major pentatonic, E major pentatonic, shape 5. Occasionally melody notes like sus4s and a little major 7th there to the octave. That's really just visualizing an E chord, which comes back in one of our other songs a little later on. But let's finish up with one of the classic guitar weaving songs, one of the first with Ronnie Wood and Keith Richards doing this together. This is Miss You. It is really something trying this for this video. I highly recommend that you guys do it too with a looper pedal, because it's so difficult to try and remember what you did before and do something else to really truly demonstrate the weaving idea. But with Miss You, I have a full tutorial for this. A minor pentatonic and the A minor chord and D minor chord pretty much throughout the whole song, other than just the chorus. The chorus is really short in this one. It's all about just vibing on that and never staying too long on the chords or the rhythm or the lead. Always making sure that every few bars you go into the other one, and that's the true sense of this guitar weaving. Full flow state, have a go at it yourself. Let me demonstrate a couple now with open G tuning, which have a bit more of a signature riff. So I've got my T-style guitar now. This is a Volavasti. Open G tuning. And we're going to have a look at Start Me Up, which if you've never learned a song in open G tuning, try this one. Super easy, full tutorial for it on the YouTube channel. Here's how we do it with some guitar weaving. So there's my attempt at demonstrating this, and the idea is when it's time for the riff, just play the riff. Particularly make sure you leave those breaks in there, or you could perhaps put a little leads part in that break. But really the time you've got true freedom is when he's just playing a chord. And you can do just a long ringing out chord, you can play some leads, you can play more of a syncopated parts. But then when it comes back to the riff, you've got to play the riff, otherwise it stops being recognizable as that song. So it's a really interesting challenge, but also it's quite intuitive because when it comes time to the riff, you know exactly what to play, and then you can have a few different stabs at varying it. I'm no pro at this. The Rolling Stones are. Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood are the absolute gods at this style of playing. I'd love to see more people teach and talk about this on YouTube because I think it's such a free way of playing. Super flow state means you're not just looking at tab and kind of learning things note for note, bar for bar. But I appreciate there's some core knowledge that's needed there. If you need more help with that, I'll link to some stuff in the description below that I think might help you. But let's get on with my final choice now, which is a longer riff where we can do a bit of guitar weaving in there, but really, again, it's the chorus, it's the chords when we can add more of this stuff. It's one of my favorites. This is Brown Sugar. So here's my final example, and I think it's really the chorus where you can hear this kind of weaving idea of both guitars playing a chord but then playing a riff. On part one, and I don't know who plays this part on the recording, but you have that riff, and then on guitar part two, you have that part, and they don't play that exactly the same every time, though. That's the rough thing that they come back to. When one guitar part is playing it straight, so as you would learn on YouTube, like the parts, if you're playing over that, you don't need to play the same thing. In fact, you need to hold back for this sort of style of playing. So with that part there, I was much more syncopated. Doesn't sound much on its own, but when you've got another guitar part that's filling all the chords, you can play something that's a bit more syncopated. That's like rhythm guitar improvising, I guess. And beyond then, you've still got your classic Rolling Stones lick and any amount of major and minor pentatonic licks that you can play. It's a bit different in open G tuning, but the real thing is don't play the exact same part twice, or if that part already exists, you can weave in between it. In this video, I just wanted to really increase awareness of this, because it's a very hard thing to practice when you're not aware of it, but as soon as it becomes intuitive, it's kind of something you can't turn off, and I think changes your playing forever. Please, at least listen to the Rolling Stones and be aware of that, especially from their live recordings on YouTube where you can see them visually, handing the baton for the next guitarist to sort of take a bit more lead on that, but then they swap back. It's a superbly accessible thing. You can do this even if the only chords you know are power chords and minor pentatonic 1. For more help with that, I'll leave a link to the Andy Guitar membership below, where we converse about this all the time in live streams on Monday and in all the courses that we offer. This is sort of ingrained into the fabric of what we offer at Andy Guitar, really. Hope you check that out, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.